This summer, in case you haven't heard, marked the formation of a new Big Three. 3 top 5 picks from the 2003 draft. 3 decorated Olympic and All-Star teammates. 3 guys who, technically speaking, all received 2010 MVP votes.
Crazy.
Dwayne Wade had already cemented his...
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So, I had a suggestion to check out this video, and absolutely, I can't believe I've never seen this one. This is a secret base video from 3 years ago, and this one is called Dirk Nowitzki's last chance to save the Mavericks in a 2011 NBA Finals needs a deep rewind. And I agree 100%. This team ranks up there with me, just as like a legendary team that went through. I mean, the narrative surrounding Dirk at this time was that he was a playoff choker, and then the team goes on one of the most difficult playoff runs I've ever seen. And then at the end of the line, they've got the Miami Heat Big Three: LeBron, D Wade, Bosh, all hungry to win a ring over there. But Dallas still finds a way to do this. And it's one of the biggest David versus Goliath stories I've ever seen play out in real time, in real life. I would put the 04 Pistons there as well. The Goliath being the Lakers. And David actually won. So it's very rare. But anyways, I think this is the team that needs more recognition, because it was a team full of seasoned veterans who all deserved a ring, and they were all contending for a ring their entire career, and then they all came together and they brought down Goliath. And such a cool story. But anyways, as always, I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you guys. Secret Base, awesome channel. I've reacted to them plenty of times. Everyone, please leave this video a like. Helps my channel out a ton and helps this video get pumped out into the abyss of the algorithm. I appreciate you all. Let's enjoy this.
It's June 2nd, 2011. Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat, for whom victory has long seemed inevitable. And yet, with just seconds on the clock, Dirk Nowitzki has a chance to break a tie, to put the Mavs ahead and on the verge of stealing home court advantage. Before Dirk gives it a shot, we should remember what this moment represents, what he's up against,
yes, please,
and what this could do for his complex legacy. We need to rewind.
Yeah, this is going to be good, because this is before the history revisionist crap recently that, you know, from LeBron himself, that this was not a super team. You know, they had all these minimum players, all this BS. It was possibly the biggest upset in NBA history, is what this is.
The Mavs have the opportunity to do something novel.
Yep.
Beat these guys at home in the playoffs. These guys, specifically. Sorry, Mario Chalmers and Udonis Haslem, not talking about you this time. This summer, in case you haven't heard, marked the formation of a new Big Three. 3 top 5 picks from the 2003 draft. 3 decorated Olympic and All-Star teammates. 3 guys who, technically speaking, all received 2010 MVP votes.
Crazy.
Dwayne Wade had already cemented his place as the superstar who helped bring the Heat their first championship.
Yep.
He re-signed with Miami. Chris Bosh, one of the best big men in basketball, a 5-time All-Star, grew tired of languishing on the mediocre Toronto Raptors. He joined the Heat in a sign and trade.
By the way, shout out to Turkoglu. Awesome player.
And then LeBron James signed. The best player in basketball right now, winner of the last 2 MVP awards. In 2010, these guys had each
regular season MVPs
been their team's best player. Now they all played together. The victory lap began immediately.
Yeah.
The arena party, the...
Did you guys ever hear that song that was floating around during this time? It was like, how'd it go? It was like, we already won. We already won. We don't even have to play no more games. We got LeBron James. We got Dwayne Wade. I can't remember how it goes, but it was like, I was laughing so hard whenever I heard that song. I'm like, geez, They had a big old crowd celebration, which we're looking at right here. Oh, there's songs coming out about them already winning, and that's what made it so sweet when they lost. It was we all expected them to win, but a lot of us were rooting against them.
Lights and flames.
It was just too easy.
Yes, we did. The arrogance is, well, justified. Yeah, Miami had a bad first month of the season. Yeah, there was some gossip about Coach Eric Spoelstra and LeBron bumping into him and whatever. Players only meetings, that kind of stuff. No one remembers that shit anymore because it's the postseason now and Miami has eaten everybody.
Yeah, LeBron tried to get Spo fired was a lot of what was going on in those player meetings. According to Dwayne Wade, according to Pat Riley, this was the campaign LeBron was trying to start, and D Wade was over there saying, "No, you don't want Pat Riley to coach us. Like, trust me, you can't handle Pat Riley coaching us." And that's a guy who has won a championship while Pat Riley was coaching him, but he also knows his friend LeBron, and LeBron can't handle that type of coaching, which is like hard nails coaching.
The Sixers' solid defense crumbled in 5 games. The Celtics, reigning Eastern champions, went down in 5 as well. The Bulls, led by youngest MVP ever, Derrick Rose, 5 games. Miami's romp through the East included nary a loss at home. They are 9-0 in this building.
Yeah, so all you guys making excuses for them losing in the finals, you heard that, right? They got through the first 3 rounds, 5 games each. Okay? They were killing everybody. They were supposed to win. But the pressure of the finals got to LeBron, and he couldn't finish the job. It is what it is. You guys can deny it all you want and look the other way, keep your head in the sand. The evidence has been right in front of you all of this time.
It's not just that the Heat wreck shit at home, it's how it looks and feels. The big 3 come at you like a tidal wave. It doesn't even take all 3 of them to overwhelm you.
No, it's a 3-headed monster.
Finals game 1, for instance, Bosh was ice cold, but James and Wade combined for a super efficient 46 points. When Dallas helped, those guys just kicked out to Mike Miller and Mario Chalmers for open threes or pounded the glass for putbacks.
Yep,
these guys go on runs that'll make your teeth chatter. Bosh has actually been even worse tonight, but Wade and LeBron have commanded a couple torrid scoring runs that had Mike Breen just kind of shaking his head.
The Miami Heat, it's like they change gears and you don't have an answer for them.
Their latest onslaught was a 13-0 run to begin this fourth quarter. With just over 7 minutes remaining, Wade buried this 3, then posed in front of the Dallas bench as the crowd embraced a 15-point lead. Breen smelled doom.
A 13-0 run, and Miami in control with 7:14 remaining.
Now, as much as I like and defend D Wade, not that time, not this time. You don't be celebrating like that in game 1.
No. Who could blame him? This lead.
Game 2. Game 2, my bad. I still wouldn't celebrate this early, you guys. I come from the world of don't celebrate until it's done.
With this little time
then you celebrate your ass off.
Left, it was game over. And honestly, series over. Of the last 16 teams to take a 2-0 finals lead, 15 finished the job. Which brings us to the Mavericks. They are the 16th team in that stat I just mentioned.
They are. Yeah, because D Wade came back from 2-0 to beat the Dallas Mavericks a couple years prior to this.
5 years ago, in 2006, Dallas held a 2-0 NBA Finals lead over these very same Miami Heat. Well, not exactly the same. LeBron and Bosh weren't on that team, but Shaquille O'Neal was. Shaq retired today. But yeah, the Mavericks squandered that 2-0 lead and blew the 06 Finals. Ever since, they've been fighting to avenge that devastating finals outcome. And the Mavs are a resilient bunch. This team in particular embodies the spirit of the comeback. This season's lineup weathered some hits. Dirk Nowitzki missed a couple weeks with an injured knee. Starting small forward Caron Butler went down with a season-ending injury in January. These Mavs lost 6 straight at one point, their worst slump in over a decade. Then they turned around and won 10 straight soon after. And here in the playoffs, comebacks remain a theme. digging holes of despair, then climbing out. Dallas blew a 23-point lead and lost Game 4 of their first-round series against the Blazers. The stench of upset filled the air. Then Dallas won 7 straight games to close out that series and the next one, a conference semifinal sweep of the Lakers. Dallas,
that one, I mean, can we just hear it again? Because this was shocking.
And the next one, a conference semifinal sweep of the Lakers.
Swept them.
Of Dallas's 12 playoff wins to date, 4 included a fourth quarter comeback. Just 10 days ago, Dallas was in deep trouble. Kevin Durant's three-pointer gave the Oklahoma City Thunder a 15-point lead with 5 minutes remaining in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. I
know, and guys, this is the Thunder team that went to the finals the very next year. Yes, they were very young, but they were stacked. What a great young team that was. But yeah, they beat them too. Beat the Lakers, beat them. It's an underrated playoff journey is what this is. We don't talk enough about what the Dallas Mavericks did.
Dallas stared down a potential 2-2 series tie. But Sean Marion's block on Durant punctuated a rally to force overtime.
I mean, just in this one image, Sean Marion, man, so glad you won that ring. Dirk, well earned. Jason Kidd, yeah, so well earned. Tyson Chandler was there too.
In which Dallas seized the victory to go up.
Jason Terry.
Up 3-1. Even their closeout Game 5 against OKC included a little fourth quarter rally.
Rara.
So if any team was going to find a way to dig out of this hole, down 15 with 7 minutes left against an opponent known for suffocating fourth quarters, preening in front of their home crowd, well, it would be the Mavs.
These are the guys.
The rally that pulled this scoreboard even began because Dallas star Dirk Nowitzki kicked out of help defense. To a Jason Terry jumper, to a funky Sean Marion banker.
Yeah, they're all funky, but they work.
Jason Kidd 3 that cut the deficit to 6.
Easy.
To hockey assist, another Terry bucket that made it 4. The man who calls himself Jet was crucial to this comeback. But the final hump, those last few points, belong to the man with the ball right now. Nowitzki handled the clutchest assignments himself. Narratively speaking, this is meaningful. There was a time when Dirk was appreciated as kind of a novelty. The Mavericks made a 1998 draft night trade for this gigantic, lanky German dude who, get this, could hit three-pointers. But around the time Mark Cuban bought the franchise and Steve Nash grew into a star point guard, Nowitzki broke out as much more than a novelty. A multi-zone, multi-purpose, all-star scorer who, at 7 feet tall with precise footwork and a buttery touch, presented a matchup nightmare.
Yeah.
Nowitzki became an all-star at age 23. He took over first option responsibilities from Michael Finley.
I know, nobody knew how to guard him. I would argue that if he came into the league right now, still nobody would know how to guard him. Because we got a lot of big guys shooting threes. What we don't have is a lot of big guys doing fadeaways off of one leg, jumpers at 7 foot like Dirk. You can't stop that shot. Nobody's stopping that shot right now. And then he can go bomb a 3 whenever he feels like it. Yeah. And one of his only weaknesses back then was his lack of defense. Well, he fit right in right now. He would torch this league.
At the same time, Dallas's playoff runs met disappointment. Then Cuban let Nash walk to the Phoenix Suns in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Don Nelson stepped down as head coach late the next season. But Dirk, it turned out, could lead the way. Dallas finished with 58 wins in 2005. With Avery Johnson taking over full-time and a deep supporting cast surrounding him.
I'm actually surprised Avery's not gotten another coaching job as far as I know ever since this, because he brought the team to the championship. They were contenders every single year he was the coach in Dallas.
Dirk led the Mavs to 60 wins in 2006. The Mavs vanquished their rival Spurs in a 7-game playoff series, then upset Nash's shorthanded Suns in the Western Conference Finals behind a near flawless Dirk performance.
Yeah,
he dropped
killed us.
50 points in one
us.
of those victories. In the finals, Dallas took that 2-0 lead over Wade, Shaq, and the Heat. In his 8th season, Dirk approached the threshold of that legacy-defining title. He would be the clear-cut leader of an NBA champion. Instead, he headlined that notorious collapse. It was Dirk who missed a critical free throw and turned the ball over in the final seconds of a close Game 3. It was Dirk who shot a hideous 2 of 14 in the blowout Game 4 loss. Dirk committed the foul that allowed Wade to hit the free throws that won Game 5. Miami ended up winning it all in 6, leaving a cloud over the heads of Dirk and company.
Yeah, I'm glad they did this because that was the narrative on Dirk. Freak talent in the NBA that we've never seen before, but he just doesn't have it. Ironically enough, he had the same narrative as LeBron at this time. So he actually broke out of it before LeBron did, because once he won in 2011, we never called him a choker ever again. After what he did, and he was sick the whole series too. Yeah, well done. But it was literally two guys, LeBron and Dirk, going head to head in the finals, and they both had that same cloud over their head. You guys are chokers in the finals. Well, one continued to choke and one didn't. And one still to this day is continuing to choke. Jeez.
And 06-07 came along, and the Mavs looked more than ready to blast that cloud out of the sky. They shattered the franchise record by winning 67 games. Dirk elevated his shooting percentages and assists to make his 6th straight All-Star appearance. It was a spotless individual campaign until one big ol' spot ruined it. Those Mavericks made ignominious history, becoming the first 1 seed ever to lose to an 8 seed in a best-of-7 series.
Oh, yeah, and this is when he won MVP. This is the worst way to win an MVP, to win it and then get knocked out of the first round. I think Embiid did that last year too. Am I wrong on that? Did the Sixers get knocked out in the first round? Was that last year? Why not me? Why can't I be MVP? I think so. Whenever you had Harden over there.
Super small, fast-paced Golden State Warriors, coached by Dirk's old mentor, Don Nelson, humiliated the Mavs.
Yeah.
Nelson sent fronts and double teams at Dirk, who failed to overcome them. He averaged under 20 points a game on some soggy shooting percentages, including a miserable 2 for 13 outing in the fatal Game 6. Dirk could only partly enjoy the honor of becoming the first European NBA MVP a couple weeks later. Even as Dirk continued to sparkle in the following seasons, more Dallas disappointment threatened to define his legacy. In 2008, Chris Paul and the Hornets easily slapped Dallas out of the first round. 2009 marked the first full Dallas season for point guard Jason Kidd and coach Rick Carlisle, but when Carmelo Anthony's Nuggets beat Dallas in the second round, headlines focused on Dirk. The TNT guys went in on the Dallas star because he'd made some complimentary comments about Denver. I don't know. This legacy stuff is caked with macho bullshit and dubious comparisons, but legitimate or not, it's sitting there. Not clutch, soft, not a winner, good but not great, all that.
I mean, at the time, I think it was justified. Someone who, I was never a Dirk hater, but I couldn't defend what was happening whenever he got into the playoffs. He would do some incredible things like beat my Suns. I think that was 06. But he just wasn't getting the damn job done. He was, okay, the best comparison I can say, and I'm going to bring his name up again, is James Harden. You know how like every regular season James Harden is phenomenal? Hell, he even won an MVP. But in the playoffs, he just can't get it done. So we don't take James Harden serious. If you take James Harden serious, I apologize. Like, I apologize for you. Like, you should stop doing that. But then again, maybe I'm going to be wrong, and someday he's going to prove me wrong. But I don't see that fight in James Harden as I did in Dirk. So, but that's the narrative, because you're not getting the job done in the playoffs. We had Dirk at that James Harden level. You're a great regular season player. Playoffs, you don't mean jack. Till he proved us wrong. And James Harden, if he can ever prove me wrong, I will eat every single word that I'm saying right now and I've said about James Harden in the past, I'll eat it and I'll congratulate him like straight up, because I just don't think he's going to do it. I don't see that heart in him. Maybe he'll do it like as a six man or something someday, but I don't see him doing it as the face of a franchise.
In 2010, while the Miami super team was forming, Dirk quietly re-signed with the Mavericks. People weren't all that excited about Dallas this year. They entered the playoffs a sharp but underhyped 3 seed. Fine. Dirk was sensational in a first-round win over the Blazers, capping the series with a 33-point, 11-rebound masterpiece in Game 6. He led the way once more in that astoundingly lopsided second-round sweep of the Lakers. The Mavs' conference final defeat of the Thunder was closer than the 5-game outcome would make you think, but Dirk nonetheless outperformed all of the Thunder stars. He set the tone with 48 points in the Game 1 victory, then finished the job by burying a huge late 3 and 2 critical free throws.
Whoa. Don't hate the Mavs, just love the game. Okay.
To seal Game 5 and bring Dallas back to these finals. Dirk, as ever, will tell you he just wants to win. It's not about correcting his individual legacy. But this second crack at an even mightier version of the Heat presents an opportunity. As we've discussed, that opportunity...
I'm not trying to win to shut anybody up. I'm trying to win for myself and his franchise, which really deserves it. For Cuban, who's been amazing since he bought it, and for all my teammates. And if I don't, it just wasn't meant to be. That's cool. That's an awesome player. He's trying to win the championship for all the right things. The people, the franchise, the owner. Man, yeah. Dirk and Mark, I think they'll be best buddies for life.
Mightier version of the Heat presents an opportunity. As we've discussed, that opportunity has appeared out of reach. Miami not only romped in Game 1, but fucked up a finger on Dirk's left hand in the process. He's played all of Game 2 wearing a splint, and while it doesn't seem to be affecting him that much, he started off shooting terribly. Dirk was just 3 of 10 in the first half.
I mean, that's some solid defense on the guy right here.
Missed 6 straight shots over a period extending into the third quarter. 7 minutes ago, the headlines were writing themselves. But then Dirk calmly picked apart double teams to shrink the lead, and once it got close, he took over. Dirk picked and popped to the left elbow to cut it to 2. A flurry of Miami misses and recoveries generated this leak out, which Dirk finished with his busted left hand. With under 30 seconds to go, Dirk slipped behind a Chandler pin down and miraculously gave Dallas a 3-point lead.
Damn.
What a rally.
A 20-2 run.
Damn.
One of the most incredible comebacks in NBA Finals history.
There you go, David.
But we are tied now because Coach Spoelstra drew up a tidy inbound set to let Mario Chalmers sneak free of the Mavs defense.
What a play, Spo. Can I see that? I want to see it unfold again.
Street.
But we are tied now because Coach Spoelstra drew up a...
How did it happen? 2, 3. What? Jason Terry. What happened here?
Tidy inbound set.
Oh, I see. He was worried about the switch right there with J. Kidd. Ooh, good play. Good play.
To let Mario Chalmers sneak free of the Mavs defense.
Yep.
Corner
J. Kidd saw it too late.
Tie game. And now it's Dirk. Single covered by Bosch with just a bit more time on the game clock than the shot clock. Dirk has an injured left hand. He has in his wake 3 quarters of rough shooting, followed by 1 quarter leading yet another Mavs rally. He's got a lot of critics insisting he's not built for moments like this one. And if he and the Mavericks can't finish this rally, he's got little hope of overcoming a 2-0 deficit against this overwhelming super team. Dirk has to make the most of this chance. Then he's probably got to get back on defense.
Yeah.
Welcome to a moment in history.
7 to shoot. Nowitzki Drives underneath lefty. Layup.
Gotcha.
Backs it in with 3.6 remaining. Miami out of timeouts, trailing by 2. James back to Wade.
Oh, of course. I forgot. Of course, classic LeBron doesn't get the last shot off. Just like now. Some things never change.
Remaining. Miami
Look at this.
out of timeouts.
He's got the ball clearly.
Trailing by 2. James.
I mean, 2.1 seconds, you just got to jack it up. I get this pass. I get it, you guys. I get it. It was a good pass. That was the right play this time. It's just funny to see him do this year after year, game after game. I don't want that last shot. You take it. Now I'm not responsible for it.
Wade puts it up for the win. Off the
Wade
mark,
almost
and
got
Dallas
it.
has tied the finals.
He almost got it, too.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Rewinder.
It was a pleasure.
You can check out some more Mav stuff or a little more Rewinder over here.
Oh, boy. All right. That was a fantastic one. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion in the comments, you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are always finding awesome stuff for me to react to. Yeah. If we're just breaking down that game alone, yeah, that should have been our warning sign that, like, maybe this Heat team is a little too cocky. I was rooting for Dallas so hard in that series. I was so happy that they won. Like, they just, in my mind, they just were not supposed to win that series. The whole league had basically cleared the path for the Miami Heat to just go in there, take a championship, and then, you know, their face of the league, LeBron, finally has a ring. It was all set up for him. But the stubbornness of this David character, you know, the Dallas Mavericks, was amazing. They just said, screw it, no matter what. They kept pushing forward, chipped away, and eventually took down Goliath. And I'm so happy I got to watch it in real time. Especially where the series goes, you know, with like LeBron and Wade making fun of Dirk for being sick and all that stuff with the coughing thing in the not the locker room, but whatever, in the arena. I don't know, man. It was kind of in bad taste, all this stuff. So, and you know, the celebrating early and all this, like, it basically had the recipe, like a perfect recipe, perfect storm for me to just, well, I hated it, the Heat at this point. And I wanted to root against them because I don't like teams and stars that act like this. So I never saw D Wade act like that prior to this, but with LeBron, he was acting a fool. So it is what it is. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Did you guys watch this series back then? Were you around in 2011 watching this series? If you did, let me know. Let me know your memories, guys, because you guys know all mine. And yeah, I was rooting against these guys the entire season, which was hard because D Wade was my second favorite player in the league at that point, behind Steve Nash. So I wanted him to succeed, but not this way. Not this way, not with a super team. And also, by this point, I had lost all respect for LeBron. So here I am. I like Chris Bosh. I like Dwayne Wade. I like Pat Riley. But I disliked LeBron so much for this move that I couldn't support the team at all. Like, at all. So, and the years prior to this, every time my Suns were knocked out of the playoffs, I was supporting the Heat because D Wade. Anyways, you guys, I'm out of here. Let me know what your guys' memories are. And yeah, like the vid, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. I appreciate y'all. And as always, be water, my friends.